All right. So recently, I've been just looking at my Sparking Zero, performance and stuff like that. I've been looking at, my time on the game, hours on the game, trophies, whatever. And basically just looking at the case in general. And I was just thinking why did this game get fumbled? You feel me? I was just looking at my game case, my watch time and all that on the game, and I was like, why did this game get fumbled? And I came to the conclusion that this game was missing a bunch of things. Now, and I mentioned in a few videos, this game feels like an unfinished game, and I still stand by that. Regardless of the characters and all these things they put in the game, I still feel like this game is pretty unfinished. So I just came to the conclusion of making this video today to talk about what sparkingzero needs and what it needs to thrive again, and what content is missing. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, let me know what you guys think this game needs to thrive again and be back up in those high numbers again. Just let me know, and let's get into it. So the first thing I feel like this game obviously needs is more things to do. Now, you're probably wondering well, what more things there is? This game barely has anything aside from online, obviously, the story mode, which honestly, I don't like how this game handled the story mode. I like the what if scenarios and what if sagas, like the Gohan Black and Trunks in the Tournament of Power, or Jiren winning the Tournament of Power instead of Goku and Frieza. I like those, but other than that, the stories don't feel distinctive. The cutscenes are horrible. It's not anything too crazy compared to the older games. It's nothing crazy. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, but sparkingzero is different than Tenkaichi Free. No, bro, it's basically a mixture of Tenkaichi Free and Raging Blast 2 in a brand new game with brand new characters and shit. I said this already, but yeah, back to it. This game definitely needs more stuff to do. Again, we only have online battles, the raid thing, which seems interesting, but they barely put any effort into that. The story mode, which we just talked about, and the custom battles. Now, when this game first came out, the custom battles feature was probably, if I remember correctly, the most hyped up thing in the whole thing. They always were talking about custom battles, and I barely see anybody even playing it or using it now. On top of that, I barely see people using it. So yeah, that's my first thing. The game just needs more content in general. Now, when it comes to characters, there is many characters that this game is actually missing, which I'm surprised they don't have. Now, first character is Super 17. Now, keep in mind, you had to unlock him, but in many of the older games, hell, even the PS2 games, you had Super 17. Whether you had to unlock him or you got him off the rip, you had to get him. And it's crazy that this game does have most of the GT characters, including the villains Baby, Omega, but they don't have 17, which is kind of crazy to me, considering he's one of the villains of, the main villains of one of those arcs, and they don't have him. So there is that. Next characters is actually two. The other Shadow Dragons, Nova Shenron and Ice Shenron, those two. Now, Tenkaichi Free didn't have Ice Shenron, I guess maybe because he died too early or something, or they ran out of space. But yeah, they had Nova Shenron in Tenkaichi Free, but they didn't have him in sparkingzero or his brother, which I find pretty interesting, considering, again, we have Omega Shenron and other villains from, those arcs, and we don't have those. So there's that. Now, another character is actually Saiyans, two Saiyans actually, King Vegeta and Fasha. Now, I find it funny that these two are not in the game either. They didn't do the Bardock team, which is fine because Tenkaichi Free didn't do it either. But they had King Vegeta, they had Fasha. You know, I know not much people are too keen on those characters, but it's kind of weird not seeing those two. And I remember Tenkaichi 3 having a what if story mode with those characters being involved, and yet, you know, they're not in Sparking Zero, which is pretty funny to me. Now, another character, I know a lot of people probably is not gonna remember her since she's from like the, you know, the non-canon movies, but you know, Zangia, you know, one of Bojack's crew members, she was in Tenkaichi 3 and 2 and the older games again, but she wasn't in Sparking Zero, which I find very fun. Like, you guys get my point. There's probably a lot more characters missing from the older games that are not in this game. So, you know, those are just the ones I like think of from the top of my head. But there is other characters. Like, if you guys do know characters that are not missing, you guys can let me know. Now, another thing that this game needs is stages. Now, I don't know what was going on in this writer's room when they were making the stages. Now, the current stages we have are fine, but if you look at the older games we have, and even the new games or like the new movies, the show, like, you know, there is more, so much more, what's it called? So much more stages from those games that we don't have in this game. Like, how the hell is the Kame House not playable in Sparking Zero? Or how is the Hell stage not playable in Sparking Zero? Bro, Xenoverse 2, I think Xenoverse 2 and a bunch of the older games has the stage, and yet you're telling me that Sparking Zero doesn't have that stage. There is so much stages they can put, bro. They can put the Glacier stage from the Broly movie, they can put the Red Ribbon base from the superhero movie. There is so many stages that they can put in, you know, with the dynamic new environment and graphics. You know, now would be a good time to showcase those stages, but I guess not. They don't do it. So yeah, that's another thing this game really needs, some stages. Now, another thing I think this game needs to thrive to, we mentioned like more content, more characters, more stages, but you know, another thing I feel like this game needs is like a patch online for the online mode. Now, I don't really play the online too much. I don't really play it much, but I'm hearing that the game right now is completely hell to play online. Like, it's so bad, it's not even funny. And you know, I get it. People are using the cheesiest characters and methods to win in ranked, and I get it, which, you know, leads to people not even wanting to play the game. And you know, it's bad enough that this game has already fallen off, but you know, the PvP makes it even more annoying for people that don't want to play. So yeah, I'm hoping they do something with the PvP too and make it a little more welcoming for people to play. And I mean, you know, I'm really trying to think besides those two things, like what else can this game really put? Like, honestly, I don't even really know at that point. Like I said, more characters, you know, more stages to have fun on, and you know, more content, and that's pretty much it. This game, you know, is a good game. It's not as bad as people say it is, but you know, with what they've been doing recently, you know, I totally get why people are saying that the game is bad and, you know, it's not that good to play right now. So, you know, they still have some time. Like, again, we are getting the next DLC probably soon, I think. Maybe like July, August around there. I think we're getting the next DLC. It's most likely gonna be Daima. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Daima. So we'll finally see, like, you know, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and other characters from that show. So, you know, I'm hoping they really cook up with that. And then, you know, the DLC, that's another thing I actually wanted to mention. The DLC in this game, it's bad. It's actually bad, bro. Like, you know, the only thing we get is like characters, which is fine. Mostly DLCs are like characters and stuff like that. But, you know, we don't get anything else. We don't really get much costumes. We don't get stages. It's just like characters, and the characters have not been it recently. Like, you know, the Beast Gohan DLC was pretty decent, and you know, it was good. We got Beast Gohan, we got Super Gohan, like, it was good. But the second DLC, bro, the only good characters from that DLC was the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and the Super Saiyan Goku mini. Everything else was just a waste of time and it sucked. So yeah, I'm really hoping that they do, you know, better with the DLC. Because, you know, since I started playing this game, I still have not bought the DLC. I'm being so serious. I have not bought the season pass. I haven't bought the DLCs because, you know, I'm not going to spend money on this game if I'm not going to be playing it that much. And if they don't put anything to make it better, I'm not going to be playing. So yeah, that's mostly what I want to see. Better DLCs, more characters or missing characters, stages, new stages to play on, and, you know, a fix to online or make online a little easier for people to, you know, have fun and to function. And that's pretty much it. I really don't have anything else to say about this game. I haven't played it in like weeks to a month, and, you know, that's only going to continue if they don't, you know, put anything new into the game and make it better. So yeah, I'm going to end it off here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, let me know what you guys want to see for SparkingZero to thrive again or be relevant again. Just let me know down below what they could do, some characters, stages, whatever. Just let me know. You guys obviously know I'm always reading comments, liking comments, and all that stuff. So, you know, just drop it down below and let me know. And yeah, I'm Neobi2. I'll see you guys next one. Take it easy and peace out. I'm out of here.